7 o'clock now, and I would like to welcome everybody here. أحب أرحب بكم جميعا في الويبينار الشهري لجو جلوبال. النهارده معانا جست من دولة مميزة وهي نيجيريا. وطبعا أنا هسيبكم تتعرفوا عليه ويتعرف عليكم أكتر. We would like to welcome today Mr. Udofia Alphonse, the international trade expert from the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the CEO of Institute of Export Operations and Management. Mr. Udofia, we're so happy and glad to have you here with us today. And thank you very much for accepting our invitation.
Thank you a lot, Rena. It's my pleasure to be with you. I'm already feeling as if I'm in Egypt. So it's a brotherly relationship that I know that we are going to turn Africa together and come closer to each other. Yes,
sure. You're most welcome here. I've been knowing Mr. Udofia since 2015. We met in Qatar in the Export Development Forum. And it was a great pleasure. Ever since then, we've been meeting every year in the forum, and we have an MOU that's signed together in order to cooperate between Nigeria and enhance the trade between Nigeria and Egypt. And now it's also a good time that we share our knowledge and information with everybody during this webinar. Mr. Udofia, can you please share with us your presentation? He has a presentation that he wants to share with us that includes a lot of information about Nigeria and about how to do business with Nigerians. So can we start?
Yes, thank you very much. And it's my pleasure to be here. And I want to tell you that it is not just new. When I was in secondary school, I used to hear of a company called Metalloplastica. It was an Egyptian company, and they're still doing very well in Nigeria. Excellent. And the relationship is to continue. And I'm also happy that our dream in 2015 was finally crowned with the signing of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement.
Yes.
So the boundaries and the borders, as it had to do with trade and investment, have been removed, so we can trade and do business with each other without fear. So Rena, I would appreciate if from your end you can help me share the slide that I gave to you, and so that we can start.
Yes, you can share it now. Yes, you can share the presentations now. Do you have access, or I've allowed the access?
Okay.
So you just press on the share screen.
Yeah.
And then you share the documents. It's starting to share.
Yeah.
But you need to get not the desktop, you need to get your presentation. So,
hold on.
Shall I try to share it from my end?
Yeah, try from your end. Let me see.
Okay. Because you need to choose the presentation itself.
Yes, I have done that, but it's not coming up.
No problem. So should we start by introducing the Institute?
Yes, please. I think it is good we got to know each other. What background has the Institute, and what do we do with the government, and if they recognize us? Okay, right, that's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. The Institute of Export Operations and Management is a trade and investment support institution, limited by guarantee. Our mission is to provide aspiring and practicing exporters with the best and relevant training and business intelligence necessary to take their product to the world. far back in the early 2000s, we did not have a functional institute of exports. And meanwhile, Nigeria was trying to diversify from oil to non-oil exports. So I was one of the people that was helping in contributing to the export strategy that was written by the Commonwealth Secretariat for Nigeria. And after which, as a trade expert, I considered it necessary that we should have a one-stop shop for both Nigerians and non-Nigerians who wants to do business in Nigeria. And that was what gave birth to the Institute of Export. We are licensed by the Ministry of Trade in Nigeria as a training institute. We are also being registered by the Corporate Affairs Commission as limited by guarantee. That is to say, we are a social enterprise. Also, the Nigerian Export Promotion Council is also a partner. They know about our activity. We are their consultants. We consult also for the Federal Ministry of Trade in Nigeria and the International Trade Center, to mention but a few. Next. We conduct training and capacity building in so many areas, getting to contract negotiation, documentation, compliance, which I'm going to talk much about that, because when they say Nigerian business is risky, it's because of compliance. We go into supply chain optimization, trade financing, international trade, among others. Next. We do a lot of research work for intending investors, people who want to do market in Nigeria. We help you with the research to let you know who you need to deal with, the area you need to go, the area you are not supposed to go because of security issues. The Institute does that a lot. And we also have a publication. Maybe by the time we are done with this panel, we shall add the members to our weekly newsletter. We have a weekly newsletter that they will also benefit from. And I'll also be happy if we can get that from Egypt equally.
Definitely, definitely.
Next. Okay, we also do advocacy, talk to government. We just finished a program on the African continental free trade on how business owners should navigate, should prepare and arrange themselves to face some of the challenges, because the AFTA is a new thing and we need to do domestication. So we are teaching them how they can domesticate it and how they will benefit from it. And which is one of the reasons why we are meeting the two brothers from the Federal Republic of Nigeria and then from the Arab Republic of Egypt. So it's a good combination.
Yes,
we also do consulting within the ECOWAS and outside. Next. And there's something I think we need to benefit so much from. The Egyptian has a lot of knowledge when it comes to certification. So we are a global gap certified farm assurer. And unfortunately for us in Nigeria, it's only 3 farms in Nigeria that have global gap certification. And nobody has a halal certification in Nigeria.
Only 3 farms have certification in Nigeria Global Gap?
Exactly. So that is an area of collaboration that I'm looking forward. So in a nutshell, that is just an introduction about the Institute. And right now, I actually want to, last year, I've won about 3 awards, 2 in UK and 1 in Nigeria, in terms of training, trade facilitation, and networking in business. We have an office in Port Harcourt, we are in Abuja, we are in Lagos, and in some remote villages where they have products like shea butter and others. So as time unfolds with this relationship, we are going to learn much about each other. Thank you. That is all about the Institute.
Thank you very much for the introduction about the Institute. And now we should come to the introduction of the presentation of today that you have prepared for us in order to answer a lot of our questions concerning Nigeria and doing business with Nigerians. I have to share it now. Here you go.
Okay. Thanks a lot. This is the anchor of today's discussion. We need to do business with each other. We Africans, we are brothers. We should not be patronizing outsiders more than ourselves. So Nigeria is a very big country. It's densely populated, and approximately about 200 million people in the area of 923,768 kilometers square. And we are also the largest population in Africa and the 6th largest population in the world. So when we are looking at who to do business with, you look at the population. Some small countries, when you send in item, maybe bring in 1 vessel of rice, is already saturated. But in Nigeria, there's nothing you can bring that you will not have a segmented market for it. Our market is very large. And I will go into the demographics so that I can see where we can do business. Next slide.
If we look at, allow me to ask you a question. If we look at this,
please do.
The map of Nigeria, can you please tell us how is it divided? Because I know there is the north, there is the south, and there is the center of Nigeria or something like that. So can you please explain a little bit the map?
Yes, if you look at the map of Nigeria, we have 6 geopolitical zones, or I can call it 6 economic zones. We have the south-south, that is where I'm speaking from now. South side comprises of River State, Bayelsa, Delta State, Akwa Ibom State, Cross River, and Edo State. That's where you call the Niger Delta region of Nigeria.
The what?
Then we have the southwest, comprising of Lagos, Ondo, Oyo, Ogun, and the rest comprising of that 6 states that make up what you call the southwest.
Southwest.
Then we have the north central, comprising of Abuja, Nasarawa, Plateau, Niger. Then we now have the northeast, where you have Borno State, Gombe, Adamawa, Yobe. That is where we are having issue with crisis. That's where we are having the Boko Haram crisis.
Then
we now have
at the north side. At the northeast side is where you have the Boko Haram.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So we have the northwest, which comprises of Kebbi, Zamfara, Sokoto, Katsina, and the likes. And we are bounded by Benin Republic by the west, in the north, Niger Republic. Then in the other side, we have the Cameroon Republic, the Chad Republic. And then by the south-south, we have the Gulf of Guinea. So you see that we are well positioned in terms of proximity within the Northern African axis, the Western African countries. We can trade with them equally, and the Central Africa. So we are your first choice when it comes to doing business because of proximity.
Yes, this is something very good to know, but also we would like to know which area out of the 6 is we know that Nigeria has the richest areas, where real business is. So which areas are exactly would you guide Egyptians to?
Okay, I know Egyptians are doing a lot in the automobile industry, auto parts, yes. So Lagos will be my first port of call, because we have about 6 seaports in Nigeria. Lagos has 2 that is very, very active, the Apapa port and the Tinkan Island port. In River State, Port Harcourt, we have the One port and the Area 1 port. In Delta State, we have the Cocoa port and the Warri port. Then in Cross River State, we have the Calabar port. You can see that the port is now within the south-south and the southwest. Then more than that, we still have the dry port in Kaduna. They are doing one in Kano, because we want to use the dry port to link the seaport so that there'll be ease of logistics issues. Nigeria is already working on that, and there are rail lines going into those ones. But when you talk about commerce, I will want to put it into different perspective. Like when you talk about agricultural products, Kano has a hub for agricultural products. Then when you are talking about petroleum products, you are talking about the Niger Delta, where the oil is extracted from petrochemicals. Then when you are talking about spare parts, yes, people import spare parts into Lagos, but it also ends up in a place called Newi. Newi is a hub when it comes to parts and production of spare parts. That place is found in Anambra State. So each city is known for a particular thing. When you are talking about clothing, textile, you talk about Abia State. It's a city called Aba. 99% of textile, both sewn and unsewn, is marketed in that place, but yet they don't have a textile industry. They do finishing of goods. So anybody from Egypt who wants to export textile and clothing to Nigeria, we target people within that bracket, which we are also doing research with them. It can be of help. Then spare part is Lagos, Onisha, and Newi. Then agricultural products, if you want to buy from Nigeria, is from the north. So that is how Nigeria is segmented when it comes to products.
Okay, and what about processed food, for example? Where is it basically?
Processed food, mainly Lagos is the hub.
Is the hub.
A lot of food processes goes in Lagos, and Lagos has expanded to other states. Lagos, you can move in from Lagos to Ondo State, to Ogun State without knowing, because it has so expanded and the expansion is large.
Yeah. Thank you, and sorry for interrupting your presentation.
No, it's fine. That is why we are here.
Yes, we just needed to familiarize ourselves with this map. I know also Kano is has a lot of business also going there.
Yes, please. Yes, it's a hub.
Yeah,
it's a hub. When you're talking about ginger, turmeric, all those other product, beans, onions, is Kano. Though there's a lot of informal trade going on there, but we are trying to formalize such trades. I want to take us into the age structure. When I'm talking about 200 million Nigerians, 42.54% of that population falls between the age bracket of 0 to 14. So what does that mean to you, the Egyptian? That if you produce a lot of things that have to do with babies, with children of that age, there's a large market.
Yes.
There's also a very high dependency ratio of the country, 88.2% dependent per 100 non-dependent. So you see the dependency is large. So at that stage, if you are coming to the Nigerian market, because of the level of dependency, you also need to look at the price of the product you are bringing for that level of people. Because if I'm earning a salary and 100 people are depending on me, I will need a product that is not that much expensive. So that is our demographic, as it has to do with 200 million people. Next. Next slide. Okay, currently, 51.2% of the population of Nigeria is in urban area. There's a lot of urban migration. People are moving to the urban area. About 102,805,999 people in 2019, which is the rate of urbanization being estimated at 4.3%. People are moving to the urban area, leaving the hinterland. Nigeria is a home of over 250 ethnic groups. We have a lot of ethnic groups and we have a lot of dialects, over 500 dialects or languages, and varieties of customs, traditions among them give the country a great cultural diversity. In Nigeria, we have so many culture, we have so many dialects. Like within the state I am speaking from, Rivers State alone, we have close to 23 dialects. So you need to, if you want to do well, at least we have 3 major languages that it is expected that a Nigerian should understand 1 or 2 of them. We have the Hausa, we have the Yoruba, we have the Igbos. The Igbos are in the southeast. Then we have the Hausas in the north. But within that Hausa enclave, you still have other dialects. Then we have the Yoruba in the west. So those are the 3 major languages, and that is why we call it Wazobia. When you want to say come in Yoruba land, you say Wa. When you want to say come in Hausa, you say Zo. When you want to say come in Igbo, you say Bia. So you don't have Wazobia. So some areas you'll be hearing that word Wazobia. So it's representing the major 3 ethnics in Nigeria.
I remember when a couple of years ago, it was the Africa Continental Free Trade trade show that happened in Cairo. There was a very, very big delegation coming from Nigeria.
Yes, I remember.
And they were speaking with us, with each other in English. So I asked them, why do you speak? Don't you have like your own language? Why do you speak with each other in English? They said, because we don't understand each other. At that point, I was like a little bit, what do you mean? So they started to explain to me the 500 languages and the dialects and everything that you're talking about. It's very rich indeed. But does that make Nigeria like different states and different behaviors from consumers? Does it affect the consumer behavior in any mean this diversity?
Yes, yes. Because when you go to the north, their demand is different, but the diversity also helps us because we are doing an intra-country trade. We get our livestock from the north. The northerners get palm oil from the south and also get the other product like the petrochemicals. So from the west, we get our staple food also from the west. So each part of the country has its own unique product that is bring and have their own unique selling proposition. So it's allowed for healthy competition.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. So let me move to the next slide. Culture.
Yes, culture and consumers' behavior. Nigerian population skew young with a median of 20 years old. 65 million people in Nigeria are 14 years old or younger, which point to an ever large consumers market to come in the next decade. The middle class in Nigeria makes 23% of the population and has an estimated potential market value of $28 billion US, which will only grow as the middle class expand over the coming years. Our middle class are coming up, the banks are coming up in Nigeria, and the challenges we have because of infrastructure is that people hardly have time to finish from their normal work and go for other things. So the online marketing business is going on, and a lot of people are buying. Our middle class is growing, and the young people from school, from the university age, they buy a lot online. So our market is still growing, and it will not stop because our population, the estimation of our increase in population is coming, and we need to build our capacity, and we may not be able to provide everything for ourselves. So that is why we need a country like Egypt, where civilization actually started from. So we need to learn a lot from you and then do business with you.
Definitely. I want to ask you a question. You were mentioning that 14% is the working class and only 80% or 80-something percent from 0 to 14. So those are the parents that take care of all this society of the 80%, or how is it happening exactly? How I don't know.
Yes, greater part of the people are depending on their parents. But in Nigeria, from 18 years upward, it is expected that you should fend for yourself. The moment you're able to finish university, as the case may be, and in some states, it is expected, like in the Southeast, most of them start business at a very young age. When they finish their upper secondary school, they decide to go into trade. They decide to go and trade. So you see that age bracket, some of them at the age of 18, even 15, 16, have started fending for themselves. They're not depending on their parents 100%, except the ones that want to further into university level, that their parents might still be taking care of them until after 20, 22 years.
Okay.
Culture and consumer behavior. Almost half of Nigerian population have internet connectivity. You see that is another area that the Egyptian can also do business with us. The internet business is booming very much in Nigeria because in the interland, almost half of our population, let's assume about 100 million, have internet connectivity supported by high mobile penetration. And as Africa's largest economy, Nigeria is one of the most prosperous customers market in Africa when it comes to IT and communication. A lot, everybody, Dick, Tom, and Harry, even elderly women, they are using their phone to do a lot of things. So that is an area that I know very well. Anybody coming to invest in Nigeria, currently we are having about between 5 and 4 telecommunication companies. MTN is there, and Nine Mobile is there. We have the Airtel is there, and we have the Glo, which is a Nigerian company. Those are the major ones. We still have other ones that are into other ICT areas that's not directly communication. Some are selling data. So that is an area, and we are still underserved when it comes to that, because we are still, sometimes we have issues. I'm happy that since we started, we've not had any issue of network. So there's still a lot of opportunities for ICT company coming in, at least in the area of communication.
Please tell us what are the most popular marketplaces in Nigeria, like online e-commerce marketplaces?
Yes, we have some local, like a lot of people trade with Jumia, a lot of people trade with Konga, and most of them are still coming up. And you know, it has been domesticated in Nigeria. You pay and they will, you collect the product and pay. You don't pay like other countries that have credit card. So you pay on arrival. So that's the method we do. When you place an order for an item, as the rider is delivering to you, you are paying him the money.
So cash upon delivery.
That's what we do. The cash upon delivery. That's what most, because of the issue of trust and security issues. So, but I believe that as time goes on, we migrate into maybe you pay online. So some people still pay online, but it's a mix of paying online and cash upon delivery.
Okay.
Bilateral trade between Egypt and Nigeria. The economic relationship between Egypt and Nigeria, as I've said before, started since our independence. We were actually looking up to the Egyptians, because even the granite pyramid we had in Kano in those days was copied from Egypt. Let me use that word, because the word pyramid, we first learned it from Egypt. So Nigeria have drawn an Egyptian expertise in many fields in the early stages of building the modern state of Nigeria after independence. I told you when I was in secondary school, I learned about Metalloplastica. It was one of the first plastic companies that came from Egypt. They had a branch in Port Harcourt, and they're producing plastic bottles and PET bottles for production far back in the late and early 70s. So we can see that relationship did not just start today. Egypt has drawn, then in a later stage, the cooperation in the field of economic and social development has become at the forefront of the collaboration between the two countries. There's a lot of relationship. We do a lot together. And in terms of religion, Nigeria has both Christians and Muslims, and Egypt had the same thing. And we also import and export within the two countries. I want us to look at in a glance the trade relationship. Although a lot of opportunity exists, but great potential of economy to both Nigeria and Egypt, but the volume of trade before now had been so low. We were not really able to trade with each other in large volumes, like we trade with the Chinese. And it depressed me. For you to bring in cargo from China to Nigeria, you are looking at between 30 days and 45 days is far. But between Egypt and Nigeria, we can do between 9 and 12 days. The average volume of trade exchange between Egypt and Nigeria is about 150 million US dollars. But however, in 2016, there was a temporary spike in the volume of trade exchange, as Egypt imported a large amount of liquid natural gas from Nigeria, raising the trade volume to nearly $500 million. This was before Egypt achieved self-sufficiency in natural gas consumption in 2018. Yes, Egypt have self-sufficiency, but there are still so many other products that we can trade with. So I am bothered and worried about the low trading relationship between the two countries. And we need to improve upon it, because no other person will solve the problem of Africans than the Africans themselves. So I want to thank you once again for this opportunity. And I'm also encouraging Nigerian businessmen and business to come to Egypt, in as much as Egyptians can come here. And entering through the normal channel, compliance, you will not get your money lost. Compliance, you will not get your fingers burned. The word there is compliance. Do what is expected to you to do. Don't go through the back door. Don't go through touts.
Hope for this bilateral trade and investment relationship to grow in the coming years. Do you think the African Continental Free Trade Agreement will enhance this in a way or another? Because our trade, of course, with the COMESA area is quite significant, and it's a big focus for us. These are many countries, and we're trading already with each other. But the west of Africa we don't do a lot of business yet with the west of Africa, and Nigeria in particular is the country that we're missing a lot of opportunities over there. So do you think I know that you are an expert in the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, but do you think that it will really enhance and encourage the trade between the countries?
Yes, I would say yes, definitely it will. Because if all the parameters put in place within the auspices of the African Continental Free Trade is fully implemented, the sky is not the limit with we in reaching our other African countries. One, the geographical boundaries will be removed. If you look at the Article 19 that talks about trade in services and in goods, the boundaries that borders us will be removed, just like what you are saying in COMESA and SADC area. And you know, the African Continental Free Trade, the pillars that carry this are the 8 regional blocks that we had in Africa, the COMESA, the SADC, the ECOWAS, to mention but a few. So it's not going to be a difficult situation because I know you also have a block within the North African region. With this, we put it together, there'll be a lot of free flow of trade. This issue of discrimination, not being a citizen in Africa will become just a country. And then there will be a free flow. And then giving to African Import-Export Bank domicile in Egypt, in Cairo in particular, and they're coming up with what they call African Payment Mechanism. If that is happening and our currency is convertible among ourselves, it will make our economy to be stronger. I'm looking forward to see that. And I'm also talking to the African Import-Export Bank to give us that model. Let's start learning it. How do we use that system of trade? Because now, if I'm coming to Egypt, I first of all change my money into dollars. After spending the balance, I'll convert it back to dollars. I'm losing some currency. If I'm changing it directly with you, and I'm coming back to Nigeria, I can also change my currency in my country to your country, we are better off. So I think the best thing that has ever happened to us is the African Continental Free Trade Area.
Definitely. So are we done with this slide?
Yes, we are. Trade exchange between Egypt and Nigeria. The main Egyptian export to Nigeria, to the best of my knowledge, is urea, petrochemicals, sugar, household appliances, and ceramics, in addition to other products such as yarn, soap, clothes, and cables. We use a lot of Egyptian cables, and most of your plumbing materials are very good. The most significant Egyptian import from Nigeria are sesame seed, raw wood. We have a lot of timber here, aluminum, alloys, beans, natural rubber, cocoa, paste, and others. That is what we export to Egypt, but we are not doing that in full capacity because we are not adding value. So the Egyptians also have the opportunity of investing in Nigeria, building factory in Nigeria, and then adding value to this product and selling it back to Egypt. So it's a good opportunity.
Yes, I've noticed that most of the products that you're selling from Nigeria to Egypt are raw material.
Exactly.
So, I would like to ask about what are the industries that Nigeria is famous for. I know I've had a discussion before with someone who said that it's you're advanced in the medical and healthcare sector. Is it right?
Yeah, you are right.
Can you please tell us about what are the industries that you have in Nigeria?
Yes, we are advanced in medical, in the healthcare, even in fertilizer production, but there's a caveat there. We are producing this thing, but it is not enough for the country consumption. We don't have enough fertilizer to feed our farms. So it's only a little percentage that is exported. Nigeria is still coming up in the petrochemicals, but we are not being able to have enough to cater for the population of Nigeria. Let's assume we want to buy either hanger or clip for your clothes. And a household in Nigeria have about 10 people, over 200 million, and you know it's spoils. So what quantity of clip will be produced to meet up the local consumption? So as a result of that, most of our finished products, little quantity is exported. So there's an opportunity for manufactured goods in Nigeria. You produce locally, you export, and use some. Then we are also prominent in the plastic industry, the petrochemicals. A lot of Indians, a lot of people from Lebanese, they are here. If you enter, if you're in Lagos, a whole lot of area, they are producing plastic food flasks, buckets, pens, coolers for food. That we are so much in that area, and we are exporting them to the neighboring countries like Togo, Benin Republic, Ghana, and the likes.
What about the processed food and the scarce spare parts, those consumer goods? What about consumer goods that are locally manufactured? What about furniture, for example? How do you see these industries growing in Nigeria?
Yes, it's coming up, but we are so prone to buying things from the foreign countries. Nigeria is an imported nation. We prefer products outside our enclaves. And because we are still trying to improve on our technology, our finishing is a challenge. The few furniture companies are doing well, but it's for a class and for the elites. So the middle class are still getting furniture from China that is not even the best quality, because the quality of their wood is pine wood, is planted wood, whereas the forests in Nigeria and other African countries have wood that can stand a test of time. So we rather export this wood and they do furniture and still send it back to us at the expensive price. So there's an opportunity there. Maybe somebody from Egypt might want to set up either a furniture company in Nigeria or furniture components. You do the components from Nigeria and take it to Egypt and do the coupling, like knockdown component, and still bring it back to us. I believe it is far, far, far cheaper because of the freight and the proximity. Like I told you the other time about this company in Egypt that is producing plumbing materials. Yes, somebody from Nigeria is representing IPS of Argentina in Nigeria.
Yes.
And the man is making a whole huge of money. And when I was in WEDEF in 2014, I met a gentleman from India, from China, from Egypt, who came to show me those products. Very fantastic product. But up till now, I am not sure they have an inroad to Nigeria. I believe their product will be cheaper because if you look at the freight rate from Argentina to Nigeria, Buenos Aires, and from Cairo to Lagos, both the expected arrival time and the freight will make Egypt a better option for Nigerians.
Yeah, hopefully this is practically true. I didn't go into the details of the shipping cost from Egypt to Nigeria or the time it takes, but adding to what you have been saying or confirming it concerning the furniture, I know a gentleman from Egypt that has factories of furniture in Lagos, and he's doing
Fantastic.
great. He's a peace ambassador there, and he's doing a great business in Nigeria. So that's for sure a good approach to for young people also to go and do business there. Yes. So these are encouraging sectors that Egyptians are working. I mean, they're
the automobile sector is another huge area. Vehicle parts and accessories for the vehicle. It is another huge market in Nigeria. Any automobile company from Egypt that want to sell their spare parts in Nigeria, there's a large market.
But the Nigerians prefer the Chinese products. When we make the research, we find a lot of any product that we try to sell to Nigeria, it's coming basically from China. So it seems that the Chinese products are preferred to a great extent to the Nigerians. Is it the case until now, or things are changing, or what's happening now?
Yes, things are changing because most of the Chinese products that are very cheap is for the masses. So we still have a class that who wants to buy the best, but sometimes they buy the inferior product in place of the best. So I believe that if a company, maybe like a group come in and then they're able to convince people and their product is best, people still run away from Chinese product. And our country is trying to put up some standard. The standard organization in Nigeria is trying to put up some standard. Like when you bring in cables from China, we don't buy cable from China. We have the best cable manufacturing company in Nigeria, cable metal, but they are not still able to get enough cable. So there's this distinguishing between the original product from the original country and the fake one from China. But China, anything goes. And the same China, when you go to China, they will still show you this is American standard, this is European standard. So if you have a good standard and bring to Nigeria, you still have a market. The market is segmented.
Yes, definitely, definitely. We have a question here asking about the ease of doing business in Nigeria and specifically about getting their money out of the country. We were just talking about this now. And yes, so can you please explain to us how easy it is to do business in Nigeria, how easy it is to get the money out of it? And we will talk more about the financial thing there, but let's answer this question first.
Yes, that is a very good question, Prena. I want you to understand that our trade policy favors foreigners more than Nigerians, because by the act of the form, the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission, I will look for that and give to you for people that are interested to look at it. Nigerian government allow you to take your profit of your investment 100% home. It is not negotiable. They don't allow you to keep in the country. You can remit that money to your country. But there are some forms you need to fill. You don't rely on touts. They say an office you need to go. Like if you want to come and establish a business in Nigeria, the first thing you do, you go to our embassy in Egypt. They will tell you, when you come to Nigeria, you will register your business the same amount of money that a Nigerian is registering his business. And in other countries, they are asking you, you must come in with $1 million US. In Nigeria, we don't have a limit. That is why you see a lot of people from the areas, mostly the Lebanese, flood Nigeria so much. Some of them, the owner of Dana Airlines was born and bred in Nigeria, is from Lebanon. And a lot of them are here. And by our law, there's a number of people you stay. There's no business in Nigeria you cannot do. Unlike in our other ECOWAS countries, there are businesses that are reserved for non-foreigners. So ease of taking your money out, I'm assuring you, with this relationship, if you have any business to do in Nigeria and you comply with our laws, do the right thing, enter through the right channel. Don't cut corners, because when people are saying that Nigerians are bad, when first of all you are coming with an ulterior motive, you are coming through the back door. You want to use maybe $1 to come and carry $50,000. It will not work. They will deceive you. And I'm also here to tell you the truth. I am not saying that Nigerians are 100% good. In international trade, there's what we call percentage defects. In 1 kg of onions, all will not be good. You have some bad ones. So it is left for you to pay for SGS to look at the onions and tell which one is good. So the same thing right now, they can rely on you, they can rely on the institute to do a background check on this person I want to do business with, on this thing I want to do with Nigeria. So the moment it is 100% correct, and you also be mindful as an Egyptian, your embassy here is one of the places you should first visit. Like if you want to know more about the institute, write to your embassy. Is there any institute like this? They will refer it to the Ministry of Trade and Investment. They will refer it to the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. So by the time they give you a feedback, yes, you can do business with this person, then you are 50% secured.
Yes, but what I think Ms. Dalia Zaid is talking about are big companies. And correct us if can you unmute yourself, Dalia, and if you would like to discuss this.
Okay.
Dalia, can you hear us?
Yeah. Hi guys, thank you so much for the presentation. I've actually done a lot of work in Nigeria in my Mondelez days. We were doing an entry strategy for chocolate. I love the people and the consumers. There's such vibe, not young people. They really would like to take a chance. I mean, the population is huge and they want opportunity, just like all other young people in the world. Maybe the clients I was working with did not really know the correct ways, but I did hear feedback that it's quite difficult to move around with paperwork. I do realize that, I mean, in Egypt we have the same thing. It's like paperwork, and you know, you have to sometimes cut corners, as you've mentioned. But in generally, they had a bit of a negative feedback on in some sectors they were working on, that they had difficulties transferring their money out. It was sorted out eventually, but with a lot of delays, which for medium-sized companies, they cannot afford that their cash cycle is delayed that long. So that was, you know, the trigger of my question. And I'm currently actually working with a client in the Middle East who want to do an entry strategy for Nigeria in many of the fast-moving. In fact, they want to invest in manufacturing, so household consumer stuff and so forth. And I was like, I'm looking actually at the data now, and I was thinking, ease of business, the score versus other countries, Nigeria is scoring actually very low. We're looking at all Middle East and Africa. Kenya actually, you know, a neighbor, even though smaller, much smaller than Nigeria, their score is much better. So I was just, you know, debating in my mind if there's any, you know, insights that I can have and help me with my client in Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Yes. Like I said earlier, your guesses might be right, but currently I am working with a client from the Middle East too, who is in the cocoa value chain. He wants to produce organic fertilizer using the cocoa husk. So the first thing I ask him to do is, you can register your company in Nigeria. If you register your company in Nigeria as a Nigerian company, foreign-based company, you can remove your money 100%. For instance, Olam is from Singapore. They have been here for years. They are actually in cashew nut. They are about the largest cashew nut processors in Africa, and they have their biggest plants in Nigeria. They export to Singapore and other countries, and also benefit from the export expansion grants, which the Nigerian government gives. They give you 30% of your total value of non-oil export to plow back into your business. Yes, you may have some challenges because our civil service, there's a lot of difficulty, bureaucratic issues, but by the time you are done, I challenge you to know that what you make in Nigeria, maybe you have spent 6 months in putting things together. By the time you recoup your investment in other countries, you cannot do that in 3 years. I can beat my chest and say that. I am not saying because I'm a Nigerian. I have told the Reina right from the onset that this is a platform for us to tell ourselves the truth. There are other negative things I will tell you about Nigeria, and then how to mitigate it, how you can get out of that. We have some issues, and when we get to that, the challenges I'll tell you, and it depends on your entering point. So it is easy to remove your money from Nigeria. I wouldn't want to ask where the person went through, but there's a laid down rule between the Nigerian Investment Promotion Council, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, and the Federal Ministry of Trade, Investment, and the Federal Ministry of Finance. So I don't know whether that has answered your question. Okay. Tips on how to do business.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, further.
Okay. Then let's go on tips on how to do business in Nigeria. Strength of the Nigerian market includes biggest beneficiary of the foreign direct investment in Africa. A lot of companies are coming in, both from Ghana, like one of the spirits produced, alcohol produced, it is blended and it's medicinal. It's from Ghana, called Alumo Bitters. Their major market is in Nigeria. A lot of people produce from Ghana and bring it to Nigeria. Then we have abundant natural resources. We have just discovered gold in large quantity in Zamfara State. There is no thing in good that God has not given us. Each state has a lot of mineral resources, be it solid mineral, be it natural material, be it agricultural product, and our vegetation is very, very fertile. Large consumer base with a growing middle class. That is one thing. You produce and you have the off-takers. Within our country, with the volume of cement we are producing, I am telling you, as of this morning, the price of cement has risen close to $100 per bag. And we are even having scarcity. Dangote has one of the largest plants of cement in Nigeria. Boy also is there, Lavac is there, but meanwhile, so it shows you that the middle class, people that want to build both in the real estate sector, there are a lot of opportunities. The young and educated population, averagely each year, we graduate about 1 million students from our universities. I'm not talking about the polytechnics, the colleges of education, and the secondary school. So if you're also doing anything within the educational sector, there's a lot of opportunities. Nigerian business culture. The official language spoken in Nigeria is English, about 75% of the population, mainly in the urban areas. Then we still have another version of the English that we call the Pidgin English. We have the BBC Pidgin. So these are English that are being mixed with our local languages to enable us to communicate. But English is their major means of communication. Then we now look at the Hausa, Yoruba, and the Igbos. Personally, I am from the south. I speak my local language, which is Efik, and I equally also speak Igbo friendly and a little bit of Yoruba. So our diversity has made that we must learn. The big show of emotion in public commonplace and perfectly acceptable in Nigeria. This may make it seem as if people are having arguments. Like when you come into Nigeria, people play a lot. Even when they're talking about business, they talk and shout. You might be afraid, maybe they are quarreling. No, when in fact they are maybe having discussion or a friendly conversation. So when you come to Nigeria, when you see them talk and shout, they shout at the top of their voice. Don't be afraid. At the end of it, they'll still come back to their level. The Nigerian attitude to business, meeting, and negotiation is a reflection of their wider attitude to social interaction. There's a lot of social interaction here, mainly within the south, southeast, southwest, and north central. And you know, when you go up there, where we have our Muslim brothers, some states are practicing Sharia. So what you have down here in those three other regions and the central is not what you see in the other area. The bargaining and handling are an important part of Nigerian business negotiation. We bargain a lot. Nigerians are hard bargainers.
You're bargaining, okay.
Yeah, we bargain a lot. In Nigerian business, in short, if you look at them, even when in a Nigerian businessman will even see a price tag and still wants to bargain. So you don't get angry. It's part of us.
It's in your culture. Okay.
Yes. Setting up business in Nigeria. When you want to set up business in Nigeria, there are things you need to understand. If you're coming to invest in Nigeria, one, apart from finding out from your embassy, go to Nigerian Investment Commission, where we have a one-stop shop for you to register your business. You can do it there within 24 hours and pay your money and get your certificate. Then you now go to Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment. We have what we call Standard Organization of Nigeria, which issues what we call SUNCAP certification. If you are exporting to Nigeria, before you leave your country, you go to SGS, Bureau Veritas, or each of those companies that have been authorized by the Nigerian government. They will look at what you are sending to Nigeria, whether it's in conformity with the SUNCAP. But if you are producing in Nigeria, there's what we call MANCAP. If you are manufacturing your products in Nigeria, standard organization will come and give you MANCAP. If you are bringing pharmaceutical products, you meet the NAFDAC. That is the agency that will give you certification on your products. If you are bringing drugs, maybe you are bringing from the same factory, but you are bringing 20 or 30 drugs. Each of them must have registration with NAFDAC number. So don't be deceived. Some people will tell you, don't worry, I can do it for you. No, send your drugs for testing, for analysis, and when it is certified, they will give you a unique number, which you will now use. In the area of drugs, a lot of pirated drugs comes in from China, but there's a system we use in testing our drugs. They'll give you a code when it's crashed and skip into your phone. If the drug is original, is certified by NAFDAC, it will give you a reply. But if it's not, so if you bring the drug from a back door without this code from NAFDAC, you have your fingers burned.
Yeah.
Assessing the network of agents or distributors. You come in, maybe you're in Egypt, you want to come in, you can appoint agents. We do that a lot. We look at the agent, the area that those your product will be marketable. So, okay, deal with 1, 2, 3 persons. And you may, it's not good for you to start with bids for collection. What do I mean by bids for collection? You don't give your product in the first place and you expect them to sell and give you money. No. It is often good to start with letter of credit or a document from the bank. Let it be bank to banks. Then after the first outing, second and third, you got to know yourselves. Then you can now decide on a lower terms of payment. Availing of local knowledge. You must have a pre-knowledge of the market sector you are coming in. Either you use a researcher, you use a consultant to understand the market. Who are your competitors? Do we have a similar product? Why is my own better for them? What is my unique selling proposition? Like the noodles we have in Nigeria, far back in 1990, a company came in called Panasonic. It came in with noodles, and it's a major market. It's even exporting to US now. It's called Indomie noodles. So the man has established in Nigeria. He came to the market and discovered what the people want. And you know, our food item in Nigeria has a lot of starch. We take in a lot of starch. So anybody that's coming in to blend the starch with protein to make it nourishable, will have a lot of opportunity. Saving on time and cost, very important. How do you get this product? Because between Egypt and Nigeria, if you have a fast-growing product, I may not even need a warehouse. Because if I'm getting a product from China, I know in the next 45 days it will come. I need a warehouse. But if I know I have customers and I tell them in the next 9 or 12 days, my product is coming and they take it off from me, that issue of warehouse it will reduce my cost. And Nigeria wants to see that you give them on time and the cost is moderate. So those are what we look at. When I need the product, is it there? What is the price? Is it okay for me? Nigerians are willing to invest in distribution. The distributors in Nigeria are very rich, like the cement company. If they don't use their money, they do what we call OPM, other people's money. As you set up the factory, distributors will give you money. You produce for them. Nobody buy directly from your factory. Others will now buy from the distributors. So that is the way our chain works in Nigeria.
So next slide.
Yes.
I have a question concerning the banks and the payments in Nigeria. And that's the biggest fear for Egyptians because we're always afraid of scams. And when we say Nigeria, as you said, as much as there are very good traders there, of course, like any other place into the 200 millions, definitely you have many real businessmen, but there are also many scammers. So what would you advise the Egyptians when we talk about choosing a bank? You said that we need to have a confirmed or an LC as a first step of working together, of payment terms. So can you please just elaborate more and give us more examples in this? Because many of the credit insurance agencies, they don't work in Nigeria. So because it's a high risk country. So LCs, some of the banks are not official and they have problems and our banks don't work with them. So how would you describe what's happening, or just tell us how it operates there?
Yes, far back in 1993 to year 2000, we were having issues with our banks. There were proliferation of a lot of banks in Nigeria, but our bank have been recapitalized. So you can't have any bank in Nigeria that gives you a fake LC. Then 2, we have some international banks in Nigeria like the Citibank. We have the Standard Chartered Bank that is our partner. They are equally a correspondent bank. We have the Stanbic IBTC Bank in Nigeria. And we also have local Nigerian banks that are in good standing. So it all boils down to you doing your due diligence. What do I stand to benefit from this bank? What do they have? Who are their correspondent bank? Then again, on the side of an exporter, you need to understand your financial issues when it comes to financial documentation. When you talk about LC, we have about 21 types of LC. So which LC do you want? So you may choose an LC that you shoot yourself on the foot. Yes, it is an LC, but if you do it default LC, you also have an issue. So on the initial stage, it should be an irrevocable, confirmed LC payable at site on presentation of documents.
Yes.
You now test the waters. If your customer in Nigeria is worth his salt, his bank should be able to grant him credit. So if his banker says no, what other venue can you do business with him? So most of the people just don't do a background check. Like we Nigerians also have our fingers burnt. You know, international business needs a lot of paperwork.
Yes.
It is something that needs a lot of knowledge. I used to train people and tell them that everybody must not export. Look at the value chain with which you belong to. We have the farmers, we have the producers, we have the brokers, we have the merchants, and then the exporter. So if you are not knowledgeable enough and you don't want Rena to take some money from you by coaching you, then you should be able to limit yourself to local production. So it has to do with due diligence and compliance. A lot of people still do business in Nigeria. And I want to tell you, the higher the risk, the more the money.
Definitely.
People still come to Nigeria. So life is all about risk. Even the food we eat, you can be choked up and you die. It's all about risk.
Yes, but it has to be calculated risk. You have to take all
exactly.
measures.
So what I'm trying to say is that how do you mitigate the risk? It's risk mitigation. Then let me come to the issue of insurance. A lot of Nigerian insurance companies do not do insurance credit. They are working towards that because it would have been easier for an insurance credit in Egypt to liaise with another one in Nigeria to fund a transaction. But most of the Nigerian companies, insurance, don't do that. So Alliance just came in from Germany, and we are working with them to see it is not only about insuring product, you should go into trade, apart from doing marine insurance. So the technicalities in trading in Nigeria is there, but if you choose a better bank, and again, we also have a challenge. Most of our banks knows about import, the export aspect of it, because we have dwelt in import for a long time.
Yes.
So export from Nigeria now is like a new terrain. It's a new thing that is coming up. And that's why the Institute is busy training people to understand the ABC of export before you go in. If you come in to a wrong person and the person ignorance is shown, you would believe because you have this perception that Nigerians are fraudulent. You just conclude, not knowing that you are suffering from the person's ignorance. So choosing a right partner who understands, or going through a consultant or going through an institute. I cannot come to Egypt to do business without consulting Rena to say, okay, who do I deal with? I am now riding on your trust to do the business. My risk is 50% reduced.
Yes, definitely. So let's move to the useful information.
Yeah.
You should remember. Tell us, what is the useful
Exactly. When you are arranging a meeting in Nigeria, you should go early for the meeting. But some of us go to meeting late. So let it not surprise you. It is good you go early and wait for the other person to come. So people are lazy and they will give you a lot of excuses for coming to meeting late. Expect meeting to take a lot of time and to involve a lot of small talks. Before we start familiarizing, start talking before you start the meeting you have done. So don't get angry. Handshake are the normal means of greeting in business context in Nigeria. Though they be aware they are often longer, they may shake your hand for a long time. They're not fighting with you. They're only showing that they're in love with you. And averagely, you may expect to behold one person's hand for a long time at the initial stage of the conversation. If you're a man, then it is best to wait to see whether a woman extends her hand. Mostly in the northern Nigeria, central, and then northeast and northwest, and the dominantly Muslims, you need to respect their culture. Except the woman brings out her hand, you're not supposed to shake her. Be wary of physical contact between a man and a woman, as a Muslim discourages that. We need to understand and respect each other's culture and religion. It is normal to exchange business cards, but do that by using your right hand and use the same right hand to collect from the other person. Status is very important in Nigeria. We know we like status. So when you're also coming, you see a big man, sometimes you shake him with one hand and then bow your head. It gives him more interest to do business with you. You are not underrating him, because in business, it's about give and take. You have your product to sell. Even if it means you lying down to sell your product, all you need is your money, not what you are giving. So it's common in Nigeria. There are some parts of Nigeria, culturally, people from that area will need to lie down and greet their senior, their kings. But that's not expected of you, a visitor. You can use two hands to shake the person, mainly because of age, is senior to you, then you bow your head. If you're a lady, you then put down your knees and greet the person. Those are the things that is appropriate. In the same way, do not put too much eye contact from a younger person to a senior person is looked as if you are insulting him. Not because, in other countries, you use eye contact. So an elderly person in Nigeria, a younger person does not need to look at his face so much. After the initial greeting, you remove your face. In the same way, you don't put off if you are meeting someone junior to yourself and do not maintain eye contact. This is a way of showing respect. So these are little things that people, because of culture, you may not understand what is happening in Egypt, and you are a new person. The person will be thinking, why are you underrating me? Why are you looking down on me? There are little things, but it's very good that we should understand it.
Definitely.
We are greeting a group. When you're greeting a group of people, always start by greeting the senior before the younger. It shows respect. If you start greeting the younger people, by the time you get to the senior people, they may refuse to shake your hand. So these are things that have to do with some information you have to be very careful with. Like in some parts of Nigeria, when you get to in the Kogi State area, they give you water to drink. Even if you have drank water before, it's a sign of showing that you are coming with peace. So we have a lot of culture. So as you go to a place, you ask questions and what you do in that place, they'll be more happy with you that you are embracing their culture. You'll be very surprised. This same Nigeria that are saying that people are very violent, there are some places you go and they will leave their bed for you and sleep on the floor if you understand their culture. So understanding the culture is an important element of being a good businessman.
But I have a question here. We've mentioned those 6 areas in Nigeria. Is it the same like habits or how to do business points that you've mentioned? Is it the same in the 6 areas, or culture is different and you need to learn about every area that you go to?
No, generally in terms of respect, of greeting, of either bowing your head or putting your nail is generally accepted. And I don't understand Yoruba Hausa very well. You just said, Ranka Dede, Salam Alaikum. So you start, sometimes even me that I don't understand Hausa, but when I say Hausa man, it's another way of greeting him. Inakwana, Salam Alaikum, he'll be very happy that at least you are part. So this is a general thing, but you use different languages to do it. It's a sign of respect.
It's a sign of respect to try to talk their language, you mean?
Exactly.
Okay. Makes people happy. Even in Egypt here, also we like foreigners when they say Sabah al Khair, good morning, things like this in our language. Yes. Okay. Challenges,
yes,
risks.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Exactly. The number one is security.
In Lagos and the security.
the level of security in Lagos is even better off than some parts of Nigeria. In Niger Delta, there are issues of kidnapping in Niger Delta. In the north, there are issues of kidnapping and herdsmen, killing of people. But in Lagos, it's not as prevalent as that, because Lagos is a place that is mixed up with all people from the country, from other countries, all parts of Nigeria. Lagos is like a free land for everybody. So security situation is not as bad in Lagos as in the north. Mostly where we are having problem now is the northeast. So security
yes, where Kano is in the northeast. Kano?
No, it's northwest.
It's in northwest. Okay, I say.
Yes.
I see. And the capital city of Nigeria is Abuja. We rarely talk about Abuja. So the commercial city is Lagos, right?
Yes, please. Abuja is like the seat of government. And that is why you see a lot of embassies have 2 offices. They have the political office in Abuja and the business office is in Lagos.
Commercial office.
So if you are talking about business mainly, it is Lagos. We look at Lagos, Kano, then you come down to the southeast when you have Aba, Onisha, Newi. So those are the hubs when it comes to paper importation. So that is why the way it is divided. Then when you come to Niger Delta area, it's completely and whole up, just like where you have in Aberdeen. What I call the root of that area is about oil and gas.
Okay. Which area is of the oil and gas?
The Niger Delta, where I'm talking from now is oil and gas. I'm in the city of Port Harcourt.
Okay, okay. That's the rich part of the country.
Exactly, exactly. And the things are very expensive here. If you are bringing things here, bring things of high quality. Because here, you have a lot of expatriates. We have people that work offshore. So they want to have value of their money. So
yes.
This is where you sell ostentatious goods.
Okay, nice to know.
High level of corruption. There's a lot of gratification, when even in our ministries. Yes, I am not against you giving somebody a tip, but when you are not demanding that before you do your work, in some area we have that. And we at the institute, because we have advocacy. Sometimes you tell somebody, I send somebody to go and send some sample of orange fresh potato for the quarantine, the ministry in charge of that, the Ministry of Agriculture, the quarantine section, then call and say you should pay almost like $30 for example. So I called the lady. So why do you want to charge that money? What is the cost of the container? He said, sorry, please. I didn't know he was from you. So you see the scenario. That's why I said it also depends on where you are coming in from. If you don't know, they take advantage of you. But when they know, you know what they know, and you can report them to the appropriate channel, they don't deal with you that way.
So you need to know the country.
Exactly.
I think I'm totally against doing business with Nigerians online. You have to go and to check who are you talking to and things like this.
Yes, you can start online. Then by the time you get their information,
yes.
If you have a local person here who run a check on them, I do that a lot for people. Also find a way out from the ministries, because they have sometimes they have a syndicate. You send a letter to where they gave you the email address, it enters into a wrong hand. But it's good you have, like what we are trying to do now, you can run a check for me in with anybody that wants to do it. And I can also run a check for you and then say, this company, you can deal with him. This person exists. Yes. That's the first thing we need to do. And then also know who their bankers. Like Standard Chartered Bank in Nigeria, they run a check on all the directors of their company before they even open accounts for you. They don't do that. And they choose the kind of business they do. If you are into fraudulent business, they don't open accounts for you. Definitely. So it all depends on your background check.
Definitely.
Then high level of unemployment and poverty. Yes, with all the money that we have, unemployment level is very high, because before now, we were depending on white collar jobs. So it is now that we are trying to enter into social entrepreneurship, people doing things with their hands. So this high level of unemployment and poverty, which investors can also take advantage of. Poor power supply nationwide. As I'm talking to you, the light I'm using to talk to you, I'm running a generator as of since the period we've been talking. So there's high level of this poor power station nationwide. We are actually generating about 5,000 megawatts now, and whereas we need more than that. So that's when you're coming to Nigeria, you have that in the back of your mind that you are going to generate, and you're not going to depend on government 100%. Lack of infrastructure. If there are people that are into infrastructural development, there is a lot of opportunity. Some state governments are giving the power to go into PPP, that is public-private partnership. Yes. You can do something for the state and recoup your investment if you have the money. And I'm assuring you the rate of recouping your investment in Nigeria is very fast and high. You can get your money within the next 3 years. There's a lot of opportunity. Then slow payments. Yes, most of our businesses here are also done on credit. If you double into government jobs, doing government contract, you'll be owed. But individual businesses pay faster. Conglomerate pays faster. But government contract, there's a lot of bureaucratic issues getting your payment. A very bureaucratic public sector. I've said that. Our public sector is highly bureaucratic. You need to know somebody before you get it fast. But there are also some channels that you will use depending on the kind of commodity or the kind of investment you do, that government will give you a very sharp push, like in the gas sector, like in the railway sector, getting the coaches. Those are things that government pays upfront. But if you are doing other minor contract with government agencies, there are tendency that you might either get the money at a very late time, or you might even lose the money if you didn't do your due diligence. I promise to you that I'll be very open and straightforward, because what we are doing, we have to tell ourselves the truth. If you do it wrong, you don't have the correct papers.
You lose your money when dealing with the public sector as well?
Yes, why I'm saying so is that about due diligence, because there is a lot of fake people in the system. So if you want to go through the normal bidding process, don't cut corners. There are some people that, yes, some people can give you a document signed by Buhari and it is not true. So if you want to cut corners, you can lose your money. But if you do the right thing, the money might delay, but delay you get your payments.
Yes, that's interesting to know. Conclusion.
Exporting demands great planning and requires people that are open, flexible, problem solvers, and quick at adapting to new situations. So that would be my advice. If you just want to trade in Nigeria, you should be open. As I'm talking to, ever since I met Rena, we've been talking, we are open to each other. I would say, don't go here. Even though I'm a Nigerian, I wouldn't want to paint my country so beautiful and get your fingers burned. The relationship I have with you is highly important, because if I do that to you, when I'm coming to Egypt, you may equally do it to me. So if every African could see each other as a brother, tell him the truth, be open, be ready to solve a problem. There is no business you do that there's no problem to be solved. I should be willing to advise you on how to solve your problem, and then I should be quick to adapt if I come to your country to a new situation. So I want to let us know that those things, we should not be afraid of going to trade with each other. There's no country in the world that does not have issues. There's no country in the world that don't have, even today in America, they have people that are doing card racketing, they're collecting people's money, they're even taking money from people's bank accounts. But meanwhile, people still make money from that country. So I want to remove our mind from this perspective that Nigeria is fraudulent, you lost money. If you deal with the right people, the money you make in Nigeria in 1 year, you cannot make in other countries in 5 years.
Thank you for all the advices, but I have a final question concerning the current situation of the COVID. We didn't mention anything about this big benefit, you know, like, so how is Nigeria dealing with the COVID? What is the situation? Do you face lockdowns? Are there any problems? We know that you were hit by two economic problems, which is the price for the petroleum and the oil and the COVID. So how is Nigeria dealing with all this?
Yes, our government, the National Assembly, is trying to pass a petroleum industrial bill. That bill will allow the petroleum sector to be open to everybody. Government will remove their hands. Government has no business doing business. So they should privatize that sector. They spend a lot of money on the refineries and we don't have any proceeds because the people are on payment. So we are trying to pass the petroleum industrial bill where NNPC, that's the company that's managing our resources on petroleum, will now be privatized. A worker working there will be paid based on the profit that the organization have made. So that will help our issue. And we are also going to remove the oil subsidy. For every petroleum we buy, it is subsidized. So the subsidy will be removed so that the forces of demand and supply can decide the prices of our local petroleum products. That's one. That will be done by next month. On the area of the COVID, we are a little bit blessed because of our tropical region. Because from research, I am told that COVID does not survive in a very high temperature. So if I'm to tell you that we have done much preparation, no, but God is really helping us. I would say 99.9% of our survival is from God, because some people don't even believe that there's COVID from the interland. The illiterate people don't believe. They are believing that government is finding a way to come and punish them. But we, the people that have gone to our open, are knowing that there's there. A lot of people in Nigeria are also being protected. Like in Abuja, if you go out without a nose mask, there is a mobile court that will try you. In Lagos, the same thing. Then social distances in churches and in mosques. So a lot have been done in that, and our number of infection has actually reduced drastically. And again, with the vaccine that has come, it's under control. We can travel freely now than before.
But how is the financial situation with the consumers, consumer behavior? Is it normal, or is it like people are reluctant to purchase things, and how do you see things?
Yes.
Are they more cautious?
There's a little bit of change in the consumer's purchase behavior. A lot of people go for consumable goods. Ostentation goods are not being bought. They have a lot of vehicles parked at the car stand waiting to be purchased, but they're mostly processed food and local food are what people are buying a lot. And then a lot of things that has high pH, like the fruits, like the avocado, like the lemon, those things that they know that can fight the antibiotic fighter is what a lot of people are going in for. And you know, we are just about coming out from the recession. The COVID pushed us into a recession, and we have also devalued our currency. So that is an upper hand. If an investor is coming from outside and you're coming from with a hard currency, you do better because your currency have an upper hand in Nigeria. So those are the challenges that we're having for now.
Yeah. So thank you very much for this insightful presentation, and everything that you've mentioned just enlightened the way we're looking at Nigeria, changed it to a great extent. And I would like also to open the floor for any questions. Do you have any questions for our audience?
If there's any question, that's fine. But I look forward of you also doing a program with us on how Nigerian businessmen can also enter Egypt, because I'm looking forward to a better collaboration. And after the pandemic has gone finally, I think there's need for us to do an inward and outward mission.
Yes, we were talking about this last year, a couple of years ago, and we mentioned that our next mission will be, we would like to come to Nigeria or something. So let's see. So do you have any questions? I'm asking our audience. No questions? Okay. So thank you very much, Mr. Udofia, for being here. It was a pleasure having you on this webinar, our monthly webinar. And we would like to meet you again and again. We will have our Cairo Business Radio also webinar together or recording together there. So I'm inviting everybody to be listening to it, but we're going to talk about a different thing, which is the African Free Trade Agreement. So I would like to thank everybody for joining us today, and all have a good night and bye-bye.
Thank you so much. In Nigeria, we say, Nagodi, Imela.
Bye-bye.
Right.
Bye-bye, everyone. Pleasure having you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
See you in our next webinar, inshallah. Last Wednesday of the month. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Udofia. Thank you very much for being with us.
It's my pleasure.
Bye.